Hey guys, so in the background of this video, I was going to have footage of the Batman 2022 playing on my TV for an interesting visual, and I figured because we were talking about Batman this week, it would make sense. But when I tried to upload the video, YouTube got mad at me and said they would take down my video for copyright BS, which makes sense. I don't know why I didn't think of that in the first place. So here's my shitty drawing of the Absolute Batman logo used to cover up the footage that I was going to use. Thanks, guys.
What is up, beautiful people? This week we're talking about Absolute Batman Volume 1 by Scott Snyder, Lord, Nick Dragotta, and Frank Martin. What a wild ride this book is. Oh my god. I need to preface some things. First of all, this is a big deal because this is the first DC book I've covered on my channel. Second of all, I am not a Batman fan. I have tried and I have tried and I have tried. Not very hard, but I've never really been very interested in Batman. I like The Batman, came out 2022. Love that. I grew up on the Dark Knight trilogy. I've watched Batman the Animated Series and other assorted content. I don't mind Batman, he's just not my thing, right? I also have never read any of the Absolute titles. Personally, I'm just more of a Marvel guy, and it felt like, to me, they were just trying to knock off Marvel's Ultimate Universe. But then I read this, right? Finally gave it a shot, and this surpassed every single expectation I could have possibly had for this book. This is so damn good. Oh my god. This might just be one of the most kick-ass books I have ever read in my entire life. This is so dope. One of my least favorite things that kind of goes on in modern comic books, right, is the idea of like aura farming and hype moments, right? And I'm a firm believer that if you're going to have those kinds of things in your book, right, if those kinds of ideas are going to be present, you should at least back it up with a little bit of plot, right? And I went into this with the impression of this was nothing but aura farming and hype moments. I kind of saw the audience for this, or the target audience for this, and I saw the people who were kind of reacting to this initially, and it kind of filled that niche that I expected it to, the kind of like dude bro comic book fan. And if you're a dude bro comic book fan, that's totally cool. There's nothing wrong with that. Everyone enjoys art a little bit differently. That's just not my thing, right? But I gave this a shot, and this is a surprisingly deep plot. Excuse me. Wow. This is a surprisingly deep plot for a book about a 300 pound Batman, right? I mean, just look at him on that cover. He's built like a gorilla. He looks like he ate Bane, right? And I'm not going to go over too many like plot details. I'm gonna have to like skim over a couple here and there, obviously for the sake of the review, but obviously, like all my videos, understand there will be spoilers for this book, right? First of all, I love what they've done with Bruce, right? A lot of Batman fans, referring to Earth 1 Batman or Earth 0, whatever's going on in the DC universe right now, refer to Bruce as like the most relatable superhero, and I've never really understood that because I can't really relate to a billionaire who 3D prints Batmobiles, right? And I'm not saying there aren't aspects of Batman that aren't relatable to everybody, right? I understand that, but I find myself relating to this version of Batman a lot more than I have with his main universe counterpart. This dude has a day job. He's not a billionaire. He hangs out with his mom on the weekends, right? This is a lot more relatable to me as a middle-class American than the main universe Batman is. And again, I'm not saying there aren't aspects of main universe Batman that aren't relatable to everybody. I'm just saying I personally found this version of Batman to be a lot more relatable and spoke to my soul a lot more than his main universe counterpart. What I especially love about this book is that almost every one of Batman's actions or gadgets or abilities or what have you is explained through like these little flashback sequences they keep doing to when Clark was a teenager or in college or a child even, and how we base so much of his inspiration for the suit off of bats. For example, bats walk on their thumbs, hence why his suit has like grappling hooks on the end, and things of that nature, right? You also see his process for how he designs the bat suit, right? Where he takes certain inspiration from the bats and where he doesn't, right? And that kind of gives you an idea of like the sort of step-by-step process on how he became the absolute Batman. This version of Batman is also like hilariously punk rock. I think, like, this dude's a blue-collar worker working a 9-to-5, living paycheck to paycheck. Or, well, you're not living paycheck to paycheck. I think it's pretty clear that he's decently well off, given his high-level job. But he's using his money to do everything he can to benefit the people around him. And I know that sounds like regular Batman. I'm just saying the fact that he's this blue-collar, middle-class American fighting against what is and this is a light spoiler warning, basically a supervillain serial killer corporation, right, who is actively paying people to sell out their morals and kill individuals around them and commit these heinous crimes all for the sake of $1, and he stands against that. There's even a point where, and again, spoiler warning, Batman gets offered like $2 million, I think it's either $2 million or $2 billion to just lay low for a week and not be active as Batman, and he accepts the money and then burns it in front of the entirety of Gotham City. This is punk rock as hell. I also want to take a moment to gush over Nick Dragotta's artwork because, oh my God, this man is talented. He takes the concept of a 350-pound Batman who, again, looks like a gorilla and just draws it and manifest that so beautifully. There's a specific panel that I'm going to throw up on screen. It's about halfway through issue 1, and it was the exact moment I knew that this book had me hooked. I don't really know if panel layouts and stuff of that nature are determined by the writer ahead of time and how he wants the story to be read, or the artist and how he wants the story to be seen by our eyes. I am confident it's the artist though, so I'm just going to assume it was Nick Dragotta and kind of just go from there. I have not really read any books to my knowledge with Nick Dragotta on the artwork, so I don't really have anything to compare it to, but this is dope. He's got some really creative panel layouts, especially in this book, that I just want to gush about. A lot of really creative stuff that I haven't really seen in any other book, and I am really curious to check out Nick Dragotta's other stuff and see if it's up to par with this. Now, I haven't read Scott Snyder's previous run on the main universe line Batman, so I can't really compare it to that. But if it's anything like this, I can see why Batman and DC fans alike went nuts over this, because this is so good. Scott Snyder is such an incredible writer and is definitely much more talented than a certain other Snyder in the DC sphere. If you know who I'm talking about, if you know, you know. So I can't really compare it to that. But if I just had to rank this strictly on its own, this is getting a 9.5 out of 10. That is a near perfect score coming from someone who doesn't even like Batman that much. I need y'all to realize that. I think if you were a new comic reader especially, I would check this out. Don't go into it with a preconceived notion of it's a generic Batman story, because it's not. This is intentionally trying to be different and almost shattering the glass ceiling on what Batman is previously known for, right? This is setting its own standard. This is its own thing going forward. It's hype moments and aura farming mixed in with a really interesting plot on the dangers of unchecked capitalism. And it is so beautiful. It's incredibly emotional. And I love what this book is doing so much. From what I have heard online, the series does kind of drop in quality from issue 7. I've only heard that from one of my mutuals on TikTok, so I don't know how true that is. That's just one person's opinion. I already have volume 2 ordered from my local comic book shop. That doesn't come out until early to mid 2026, so it's gonna be a minute before I get to that, but understand that it is on its way, and I am going to make that video and let you guys know what I think. This collects issues 1 through 6 of Absolute Batman, and it goes for $18 USD for the trade paperback collection. Guys, that is a steal. I feel like everything DC does trade paperback wise is always over $20. For a book of this quality, for under $20, just $18. Guys, please go check this out. Absolute Batman is absolutely incredible. Dare I say, sorry about that, had to take care of something. This is dope. Go check it out. 9.5 out of 10, near perfect score. That's all. Go follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. I do different content on different apps. Should be here or here. Pretty sure it's there this time, because this mirrors, and I had to learn that the hard way from one of my previous videos. And make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, all that. Let me know what you guys want to see next time in terms of trade paperback reviews. And yeah, have an amazing day. Love you all. Thank you for watching.